right, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Fighting's Final here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. With your boy Matty B on the call tonight, and yes, I am proud to report another series victory, the 10th of the 2025 season. Yes, the Fighting Phillies. Yeah, they won 5-2 over the Puckos. The Puckos. It's either the Pirates or the Bucks. So we'll go with the Pirates tonight. 5-2 is your final as they take the first two games of the series. They're clinching their 10th series victory of the year. Zach Wheeler, what can you say that has not already been said every time he takes the mound every fifth day? It's like money in the proverbial, right? It's not even funny anymore, or it's not even fun anymore. It's like a programmed win, as he was once again dominant tonight, as he scattered hits, scattered strikeouts, scattered Pirates, scattered everybody around the diamond, and the Phillies beat the hapless Pittsburgh Pirates 5-2, even though they made it a little close for the Phillies there at the end. Tanner Banks coming in there, coughing up the 2-run shot late in the ninth, but never fear, it's the Pirates, and the Phillies shut it down. Bryson Stott, 2 for 5. Bryce Harper, 2 for 3 RBI, as well as Stott and Harper were the main contributors. Schwarber also threw in another RBI, and there's your 5 runs. All the run production comes from the top of the lineup. Not going to get kind of picky about that. I'll take it where I can get it these days. So the Phillies win 5-2. Zach and Bryson had a good game. They did. But is it hard of me, or is it bad of me to be like, you know what? It's the Pirates, for God's sakes. Yes, you only can play who they put in front of you. But I knew this was going to happen. You come out of that bad. I mean, come on, it was a bad Cardinal series. And, you know, you're playing a team in the Cardinals that you might see in October. And then we're going to play the Pirates that we should sweep. Matter of fact, with the Pirates series, the Rockies series, and the Sacramento A's all lined up back to back to back, the Phillies should go 13-0. Does that make them a World Series competitor again? Does that fix everything that's wrong? Does that mask, once again, the problems that are still haunting this team? I was fearing this because we get picked up and let down on a constant basis by this baseball team. They're doing what they got to do against lesser competition. I'll give you that. And I guess we could be really upset if they were not beating lesser competition. Then you'd have a lot to complain about. But does that solve the team's problems? And what is the answer to solve the team's problems? Tomorrow might be part of the answer. Mick Abel getting his MLB debut against Paul Skeens. And inquiring minds want to know. Finally, after 6 seasons or 5 and change of minor league baseball, Mick Abel cracks the major league rotation. Is he going to wear the Topps rookie debut patch on his jersey? And is that going to be part of a relic card from Mick Abel a little bit later on this season? These are the things I think of when it comes to rookie players. But Mick Abel, Paul Skeens tomorrow, must-watch TV. But let's get back to this game. Let's get back to tonight. 5-2, Phillies with the win. Let's get into the box score. Phillies, or Pirates, 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors. Phillies, 5 runs on 10 hits, no errors. We already mentioned our offensive standouts. Stott, Harper, and Schwarber, accounting for all the runs of the Phillies so far tonight, or all the RBIs tonight. Stott led off his 25th time in the leadoff spot for the Phillies. He now leads all of the carousel players. The carousel players being Schwarber and Turner in leadoff appearances this far in 2025. 25 of them. The Phillies still went with a different lineup, so they still have only gone with the same lineup six times, or six multiple times throughout the season. So through 45 games, 6 times the same lineup. Other than that, offensively for the Phillies, you can get obviously you're happy at the Phillies won. Of course you're happy, but without the production of the top 3, or Stott, Harper, Schwarber, there wasn't really much happening below them. Castellanos 1 for 4, Kepler 0 for 3, JT 1 for 3 with a walk. Bohm 1 for 4. Marsh 1 for 3. And, you got some production up top, and they did what they had to do. And you had Zach Wheeler throwing 6 dominant innings, and you're able to ride that to success. But I mean, do we nitpick here and say where was the rest of the offense? I mean, the Phillies should be winning. It should be like 10-2. To be honest with you, that's how bad the Pirates are. For the Pirates, I mean, Reynolds was the big offensive producer tonight, 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. He had that home run. He had the big shot heard round Pirate Nation in the 9th inning, the 2-run home run. They make this somewhat of a closer game. But other than that, it was pretty much no bueno for the Pirates. Zach Wheeler, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 97 pitches through 6. It's not that good, but I'll take it. Matt Strahm, Hernandez, and Tanner Banks, who had probably the worst pitching appearance of the night, 1 run or 1 inning ever hit, 2 earned runs, was on a homer, and he also had 2 strikeouts and a walk to go along with that. Moldowski, the loss, he's now 1 of 4, 3 1/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 they were earned, a walk, 2 strikeouts, and a homer. Scoring summary: the Phillies would get up early and often on the Pirates. First inning, Schwarber would double in Turner to make it 1-0. Stott would then homer in the 3rd to make it 2-0. Stott was single in Bowman in the 4th. Bowman and Marsh to make it 4-0. Harper would double the 4th to make in Stott to make it 5-0, and then Reynolds would hit the 2-run homer in the 9th to make it 5-2. And as your scoring, Phillies were 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Not good at all. They left 9 total runners on base. The Pirates were 0 for 0 with runners in scoring position. Holy crap. And they left 3 on base. Ugh. And that's how you find your way to a 5-2 win. Phillies now 10 series wins on the season. That is now their 26th win of the year. They're now 27-18 through 45 games, and I am now 13-5 as your host of the Fights Final through 45 games. Yesterday it was Zach Wheeler bobblehead night. Damn, really? Somebody should have told me that, man. I would have liked to have had that. Congrats, Nick Castellanos, on his new. Come on, Star Wars, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, I guess so. Congratulations, Nick. So Phillies win 5-2, and let's do our Broad Street bottom line. Kind of a fast post-game show tonight as we're just kind of zipping through it. Yeah, my Broad Street bottom line, simply put, and I kind of say this every time I get, it seems like I've had a lot of Zach Wheeler games this year. Maybe that's part of my 13-5 dominance. But every time I seem to have Zach Wheeler, it's the same thing. It's the dominance. It's the pitching of Zach Wheeler that continuously sets this rotation apart from others. We are truly blessed to have a Zach Wheeler in this rotation, and it could be a lot worse if we did not have a Zach Wheeler. And anytime you can go to battle with a Zach Wheeler every 5th day, you put yourself in an opportunity or put yourself in a position to win. And tonight was no different. Yes, he got some offensive support early on, but yet, you know what? 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position. You need more. And this was one of those games where no one gives the Pirates a chance. The Phillies got to sweep this series. Tomorrow, it'll probably be a load management program loss day. JT probably won't play. A lot of the scrubs will play as they're getting ready to head out west to play the Rockies and the A's. But we cannot overlook this game. We got to win it. The Phillies cannot overlook any wins. They cannot look any win gift horses in the mouth. They got to go out and win this game. But with Zach Wheeler every 5th day, that's a possibility. And, one of the common themes of championship winning baseball in Philadelphia has been the presence of a dominant ace. Steve Carlton, Cole Hamels, who, by the way, was on the telecast tonight. And I guess for a lesser consent in the 93 was Curt Schilling. So it's got a common thread, a workhorse ace. And we have one in Zach Wheeler. And hopefully we have one for at least 2 or 3 more seasons. So Zach Wheeler, once again, is my Broad Street bottom line. As long as we have him, we put ourselves in a position every 5th day to win. We have to go to, we have a good rotation. We do. And Zach Wheeler makes it that much better, Star Wars. All right, let's hit round the bases. Man, going fast. All right, it is a round the bases time here on the Fight's Final on this early-ish kind of Saturday night. Good games that are currently in progress. It is 3-1 Rangers over the Astros at the bottom of the 7th. It is 1-0 Cardinals over the Royals in the bottom of the 8th. 6-2 Braves over the Red Sox, top of the 6th. 5-0 Twins over the Brewers in the top of the 6th. It is 6-4 Diamondbacks over the Rockies, top of the 3rd. 0-0 Mariners, Padres, top of the 2nd. And the A's and Giants will get going a little bit later on, as well as the Angels and Dodgers. Games that have gone final. The Mets 3-2 over the Yankees in the Subway Series. Cubs 7-3 over the White Sox in the Battle of Chicago. 2-1 2-1 Blue Jays over Detroit. 10-6 Nationals over the hapless Baltimore Orioles, who decide to move on from their manager. Brandon Hyde gets the boot today or yesterday or early this morning from their manager, the third manager. If you're keeping track, the body count is now up to 3 managers that have fallen by the wayside so far in 2025. But that doesn't change the Orioles' luck tonight as they lose 10-6. It was 4-0 Rays over the Marlins and 4-1 Reds over the Guardians. And there you go. There's your scores around Major League Baseball on this Saturday night, as we're kind of in the middle part of, like, sort of in between early and late of the day. And there you have it. What's up, Matty B? Nick Abel finally coming up. Yeah, tomorrow, 1:35. Thank you, Adam, for the segue. Tomorrow, 1:35, the series finale of this series will feature Paul Skeens versus Mick Abel at Citizen Bank Park. Please get out there and capture this moment in all of its glory, because we've been waiting, or maybe it's only me. Maybe I'm the only one who's been waiting for this for 6 years. But finally, it has arrived. Mick Abel is going to enter the rotation as the Phillies are finally going to give some of these young prospects an opportunity, and Mick Abel may not be the top of the list guy. No one had Mick Abel on their bingo card to start the season. It's all about Andrew Painter, Justin Crawford. It's all about Otto Kemp to a lesser extent, players along those lines. But Mick Abel, a reclamation project of struggles throughout the system, found his footing about a quarter of the way through last season, and has not really let go of that since then at the AAA level. One of the more dominant pitchers the Pigs have had over the course of a season and 3 quarters will finally get an opportunity to pitch in the Phillies rotation after being drafted. What was it, the 14th overall pick back in 2020? I remember when he was drafted out of, Jesuit High School out there in Seattle? So he's going to have an opportunity tomorrow up against Paul Skeens. And again, I asked the question, is Mick Abel going to wear the rookie debut patch on his uniform so that it can become part of his relic card at some point this year? Again, that's the things I think about. Am I going to give Bryce Harper his flowers? No, I'm not. He's getting paid $330 million a year, or he's getting paid $330 million to play baseball. Has he been clutch for you, Adam? Has he? Are you prepared to say all is forgiven in May? No, we got to see this thing through. We got to see it throughout the season. I still maintain the Phillies would be better off. They can move off of Bryce Harper, because it's just not working out, in my opinion. And he would open up a lot of possibilities in this lineup if he wasn't here. So he's been playing well, great. But the fact that we got to step aside and make certain concessions and certain remarks about, oh, look, Bryce Harper's playing better. What does that say about your $330 million man? Bryce Harper has not lived up to the expectations and hype that he came here with, and it's okay to admit to that. 100%. He has brought us no championships, and he has won himself 1 MVP, which means diddly squat to me when it comes to the Philadelphia Phillies. Again, it means a lot to Bryce Harper, but it means nothing to me. So, no, it is not time to give anybody any accolades in May for stepping up. A guy that never should have been stepped down in the first place. So no, I'm not giving anybody any credit. He's been playing better. I'll give you that. But I'm not going to relent and take back everything I said. He's been a disappointment, Adam. You know it. You're just afraid to admit to it. He's not lived up to your expectations, Adam. You know it. You're just afraid to admit to it. I'm not afraid to admit to it that he has not lived up to my expectations. And there's nobody out there that can say that he has lived up to their expectations. But we got to be the politically correct fan base out there and show support, unwavering support, even though it's not warranted. Bryce Harper deserves criticism. He deserves a lot of it, and he's deserved it for some time now. And I'm not going to fall over myself because he's played okay over the last 2 or 3 games. Again, started picking it up a little bit in the Cardinals series, but he's feasting against the Pittsburgh Pirates. I said this at the top of the show. This is what these types of games and these types of series do for Phillies fans. They, kind of temper all of our venom because they pull off a couple wins. And now over the next 13 games, you got the Pirates, the Rockies, and the A's. The Phillies should come out of these next 13 games as World Series contenders once again. But then we'll turn the calendar and play the Braves. And we'll play those teams again. We'll be right back into the same situation that we're in right now. So, and it goes, obviously it also goes with the players. So I give it nobody no. And first of all, I don't give a grown man flowers. Never. So, no, I am not. I agree. He has to play. Yeah, he has to play all year. And again, answer my question. Has he lived up to your expectations since he's been here? Has he, Adam? Is this what you expected from him when they brought him here in 2019? Was it 2018, 2019, whatever it was? No, it isn't. Of course it's not. But we move on. And we move on here on the network because tomorrow morning, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., the final word. I'm all stuck. I'm in a time warp. The P&M and the AM program will make its return. Oh, not make its return. It's back. And it'll be back tomorrow morning at 9. Your Sunday mornings will never be the same. And then after the Fighting's final tomorrow, that's where I had the final word on my brain somewhere. After the Fighting's final tomorrow, the final word, Matty B, will return to its slot of Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to try to get as many of these in we can this week. I'm not sure how many we're going to get in, but I'll be back tomorrow night. And then you'll be seeing a whole bunch of me tomorrow because I'm right back at you on Sunday afternoon with the Fighting's final. So hopefully I can come back here and report a Phillies series sweep. And then I actually have you to start the Rocky series on Monday. So 3 straight Fighting finals for me that wrap up the weekend and head out on the week. So you got to love it. Gotta love it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he did, Adam. I know it's been working better, but it seems to always not work when he does that show. But Phillies 5-2 winners over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Zach Wheeler once again pitching like Zach Wheeler and providing every bit of what he needs to provide this team. He gets to win his 5th of the season. Is now 5-1. Phillies 10th series win of the year. We'll look now for the sweep tomorrow. Mick Abel making his MLB debut against second-year phenom Paul Skeens. The only bright spot in the Pittsburgh Pirate franchise will go tomorrow against the Phillies. So should be a very interesting pitcher's duel type game from Citizen Bank Park. Be there or be square. And Adam's asking what my record is. I'm 13-5 as your host of the final. All right, that is going to do it for me tonight, guys. I will see you tomorrow, but don't forget the PM, and the AM program tomorrow at 9 a.m. Start off your Sunday right, and let's keep this thing going for another win tomorrow. Until we talk again, I got one more thing to ask and one more person to hear it from. Old Harry the K, what you got?
He has high hopes. He has high hopes. He had high apple pie in the sky.